6-9 all-time in Nationals Park. Easily the most wins by an opponent. Carlos Zambrano and Ross Detweiler. It's game one on Masson. It's a beautiful night for baseball, Nationals Park. And how about this for a big series early? The Marlins and the Nats, first of 3 tonight. But series have been no problem for the Nats so far. They win one at Chicago. They win one at New York. They come home 3 out of 4 against the Reds. Could have swept. And then 3 out of 4 against Houston. So here we are. And the boys are playing well, 10-4. Forget about last night. It's all about today or tomorrow in Major League Baseball. So the start we had hoped for. And so far, so good, really, on the 2012 season.
It's been a great start. It validates a lot of the expectations coming into this season. But I think right now, when you're talking about playing a division opponent, one that made a lot of upgrades in the offseason tonight, we talked about it last night, a big-time power check for the Nats. Yeah,
a lot of offseason stuff going on for the Marlins. They bring in Jose Reyes, who, by the way, is hitting .226 right now. Heath Bell, a 7.20 ERA. And Mark Burley is 1-2 with a good ERA. But these are frontline guys.
They're frontline guys with track records, so I'm sure they're going to perform like they have in the past. But the Nationals have a tough chore tonight facing Carlos Zambrano, a guy that's had success against his franchise. 8-3 career versus the Nats, 3.35 ERA, and a .218 batting average against. So, you know, it's game on. And for Ross Detweiler, last outing didn't go like he had planned, but we talked about it last night with Edwin Jackson. I think he did a nice job at keeping his team in the game. 4 unearned runs in the first inning, 3 calls that didn't go his way. He stuck with it, battled, and had good stuff. Davey Johnson called it a good outing last time out for Ross Detweiler.
First career start against the Marlins in the Houston series. Ryan Zimmerman came alive. The defense never leaves, but the bat came alive. 6 hits, a homer, 5 RBIs, and of course the Gold Glove stuff with the glove. Zimmerman and the Nats trying to score and score big against the Marlins this weekend. Nationals baseball on Masson. Brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com and learn more. Scoreboard walk, Shake Shack, all that great stuff out there in right field. And a beautiful night for baseball. And a time to get this thing turned around against the Marlins, who were 7-2 here last year, 14-4 over the last 2 years. Visit train.com for an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Look at that, 71 degrees. Gentle breeze is blowing. Good night for the pitchers, good night for the hitters, and we hope a good night for you as well. HANLEY Ramirez has really come alive. 11 hits in his last 5 games. He is hitting .341 career against the Nationals with 25 home runs and 70 RBIs, the most damage he's done to any team he's ever faced. Marlins are 4th in the league in hitting and 6th in runs, and it is a tall task, FP, for a left-hander facing this lineup.
Yeah, lineup based on mostly right-handed hitters, guys with a lot of pop. But for Ross Detweiler, last time out, he got the no decision in Sunday's 11-inning 8-5 loss against the Reds. He was the victim of 3 horrible calls in the first inning. He pitched around that, settled down nicely, only gave up 1 earned run of the 5 that the Reds scored. So fastball, curveball change is what the Marlins will see from Ross Detweiler. Let's set the defense tonight for the Nats behind Ross. Nady, Ankiel, and Worth in the outfield. Desmond and Zimmerman on the left side. Espinoza, LaRoche on the right side. And Jesus Flores doing the catching.
Well, Danny Espinoza, his bat came alive. 2 hits last night. He was 4 for 11 with a walk in that series against Houston. Find out why the government is turning to STG at STGinc.com as we go inside the numbers. And the sinker is the key pitch, evidently, for this left-hander.
Yeah, look at the 2-seam fastball right there. 143 average against, but this is the one that got me a little bit. The 4-seam fastball, 538. Very early in the season, though, but the 2-seamer working better than the 4-seam.
Jose Reyes, defending National League batting champion, when he hit .337 for the Mets last year, leading things off. 7:06 in Washington, and the first pitch is outside. Reyes off to a .226 start with a .288 on base percentage. He's only had 9 at-bats right-handed. The Marlins, like the Nats, haven't faced many lefties, and that's 2-0, and you sure can't walk this man to start the game. He's 1-5, 1-4-5 career against Detweiler, and there's another speedster on deck. That one's right in there. So Reyes and Bonifacio have stolen 13 of the Marlins' 16 bases, and Miami leads the league in that department. Reyes will slap it foul right side. 29-year veteran crew chief Jerry Davis has the plate. Greg Gibson, 14th year. Phil Cuzzi, 14th year. And young umpire Vic Carapazza round out the squad tonight. And a 2-2. Out to short. Charging Desmond. Always great to start the game with Jose Reyes not on base. With Bonifacio coming up.
And we just talked about the right-handed hitting lineup for the Marlins tonight, but tall task for Ross Detweiler. But when you mention the stolen bases, maybe advantage left-hander on the mound, hold those guys close to first base with his move.
Good call. You are right. They're 16 out of 19 stealing. OZZIE Guillen, 9th year. White Sox and now the Marlins. And his ball club playing pretty well. They've won 4 straight. They're a game over 500. Here's Bonifacio, who's batting .340. Now, this is one player who is a notoriously fast starter with the bat. It's nothing unusual for him to hit .300 to .330 early in the season. He's 6th in the league with 18 hits. That ties Desmond and several others, and then LaRoche and Worth are right behind them. So we've got some of the top hit men in the league in this series.
Yeah, .441 on base percentage.
And he's 9 for 9 stealing bases. Marlins have just told him, hey, go play some center field, chase everything down, have some fun out there.
And run till they tag you.
And, of course, with the Nationals and coming up through our organization, he was an infielder. Overmatched on that pitch up.
A little 92-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone. Reading swings early. Looks like he's got the good heater going here in the first.
Working with Jesus Flores tonight. And a breaking ball. He tried to get that one right through the side of the plate. Maybe later he gets that call.
That's like the 4th home plate umpire this year that has given up on the first curveball of the game. And we've seen it so many times. It'll lock up a hitter, and sometimes it locks up an umpire.
He goes with a fastball away, and Bonifacio stays alive. Emilio is 27 years of age. Well, at least he will be in 3 days. Hitting in front of Hanley Ramirez. Plus, Detweiler has never started against the Marlins. 2 games in relief, totaling 4 innings with a 0 ERA. Goes with the heater, and out is Bonifacio, and he doesn't like that call. So Jerry Davis didn't give the outside corner, but he gave the inner part.
Yeah, it nailed the spot right there with the fastball. And I was wondering how Detweiler would do today. Coming off an 81-pitch performance, Carlos Zambrano threw 106 in his last start. And how many times have we seen it when a guy throws under 100 pitches, maybe in the 80s, very fresh 5 days later? So far, so good for Detweiler.
Here's Hanley Ramirez. Two guys in a row in this lineup who have just worn the Nats out with their bats over the years. Now, Ramirez seems to do most of his damage down in Florida.
And he has taken some kind of long time digging in the box, and Detweiler took a little walk around the mound. I don't think he enjoyed it.
Ramirez 1-for-1 career against Detweiler with an RBI. So he's hitting 300. Look at those career numbers. He has a higher batting average against Houston. Doesn't play them as much. So that 25 and 70 on the power numbers, the best against anybody. Now Jerry Davis gives the outside corner with the fastball. 1-1.
And we'll get into it a little bit later as the game goes on, but I feel like all the great numbers the Marlins have historically against the Nationals was facing guys that didn't throw in the mid-90s.
True.
You talk about, Livan Hernandez last year. Not the hardest throwing guy in the world, but successful. Maybe a John Lannon for a couple of years facing the Marlins. You probably know better than I do, partner, of all the starters the Nationals have had historically against the Marlins. Yeah. It wasn't the power staff that they're featuring right now.
Yeah, if you don't have strikeout capability against these guys, you're in trouble, because if they make contact, they're also big and strong. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs, target inside. That's a broken bat. Out to shortstop, Desmond. And a very good start to the weekend for Ross Detweiler. Here come the Nats against emotional Carlos Zambrano. Boys night out. Man, they relieved. The school week is over, and they are ready for action here. So are the Nats. See your authorized Dodge dealer. Experience a world of performance, design, fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com. Check out the powerful lineup, and hopefully that's the way the Nats are turning the corner with the home runs. Zimmerman deep last night. He's had his share of success against Florida as well. 308, 14, and 52. And Ryan is 4 for 20 career against Carlos Zambrano.
And last time out for Zambrano against the Astros, he pitched 6 innings of 4-hit balls, struck out 4, and walked 6 batters. He left with a 4-1 lead, but received a no decision after a 4-run Houston night. Through 106 pitches, 65 for strikes. The Nats will be seeing a 2-seam fastball, a 4-seam fastball in the low 90s, a slider, a curveball, and a split changeup from Zambrano. And he probably has a couple other pitches that I haven't mentioned. He throws everything but the kitchen sink.
He's been around a long time, but he's only 30. He'll have a 31st birthday, June 1st. Ian Desmond, believe it or not, has never faced Carlos Zambrano. There are several Nats tonight that just haven't. The Nats really never saw much of Zambrano. Being with the Cubs, other division, you may get him once a year. You may not see him for 2 or 3 years at a time. Ian hitting 300. 0-2 pitch. By the way, Carlos, as FP told you in the open, pretty good against the Montreal Washington ball clubs. 12 starts going back to the Montreal days. 3.55 ERA, 8-3. So he's had a decision in 11 of 12 starts. He's been around late almost every time he has started against this organization.
And no matter who you are or what kind of track record you have, if I'm a Nationals hitter tonight and I know that Zambrano walked 6 guys his last outing in 6 innings, I have to make him establish a strike zone early.
2-2 to Desmond. And the fastball by him. So it takes 61 at bats for Desmond to get his 10th strikeout. And here comes the Miami defense featuring a former Nat.
Yeah, Kearns in left field, Bonifacio in center, Stanton in right, Reyes and Ramirez on the left side. And we've heard that has been going very well. Hanley Ramirez has been playing a nice third base, and Murphy and Sanchez on the right side, and John Buck doing the catching.
Austin Kearns only 6 at bats for the Marlins, but a home run this year. Hit .234 career as a Nat in this ballpark. So 2 ex-Nats, Kearns and Bonifacio, patrolling tonight. Here's Danny Espinosa. Marlins, by the way, have made a lot of errors. They are 3rd, actually 4th in the league in the most errors with 13. Padres, Rockies 15, Giants 16. What's going on the diamonds of the National League West? That ball flirts with the left field corner, and Kearns, a very good outfielder, goes back to grab it. You folks will remember Austin. He was a right fielder here, but he played a lot of center field as well. He can move for a big man. Is Ryan Zimmerman back? Good series against the Astros. His batting average up, if you will, to .236. This will be a fun matchup. These guys 3 times or more tonight.
Should be a lot of frisbees on the outer half. And what do I mean by that? His slider looks like a frisbee. He gets around it, throws it from a 3/4 release. He'll start it on the outer half against righties. And you saw the one that already went to the screen. It was nowhere near. A lot of break in that pitch for Zambrano.
Zimmerman taps it foul. And quickly 0-2. Now this is usually when they just throw it to the outside corner and let it go about 8 inches outside. So Ryan, limited success against this righty. He waits for that one, hits it hard. Jose Reyes with a good play. He's always had a great arm. Zambrano hung a breaking ball and got away with it. And the Nats, like the fish, go 1-2-3 first inning. Hey, not just the guys having a good time at the ballpark tonight. Beautiful evening. Top of the second. Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races, league leaders. The ultimate triple play at Hollywood Casino, slots, tables, and dining. Fewest home runs allowed through 14 games. Wow. 97 Braves, a perennial playoff team. Red Sox, Royals, Braves again.
That's a pretty impressive number.
ERA went up quite a bit last night from 192 to 254, giving up 11 earned runs last night. But hey, that's last night.
I went up to Edwin today in his locker and I said, you know what, I was more impressed with your outing last night than I was with the complete game. And he said, you know what, FP, I had more bullets. I was ready to keep going.
Yeah.
I want to go deeper into that baseball game. I was just getting my groove on. And I came out, and I think, you know, Davy's thinking about his next start, obviously. But I was impressed with the way he battled last night after giving up that quick 5 spot in the first with 3 triples. The first thing he came up to me and said is, have you ever seen 3 triples in 1 inning before? And I said, nope, Edwin, I haven't.
By the way, that was Babe Ruth, otherwise known as John Carlos Stanton. In this ballpark, we might start calling him the Babe. He came into that at bat hitting .410 at Nationals Park in 15 games. Crazy good. Here's Gabby Sanchez. Hey, but at least it's a single. When the Nats have been pounded in this park in the past by the Marlins, it's been gap shots and home runs.
Yeah, that .410 was with 8 doubles and 8 home runs.
How about that? It's got to be a slugging percentage of 1,000 or 1,100 or something.
I would think he makes a lot of ballparks look small.
That ball is popped in the air right field for Jason Worth. Gabby Sanchez hitting .244 into that AB. And here comes the former Nat, Austin Kearns. Austin was hurt a good part of the time he was here. Played for the Nationals 06 to 09. His best season was 2007 when he hit .266 with 16 homers and 74 RBIs, 35 doubles. He had 9 assists in right field. And those assists resulted in 4 double plays from the outfield. He only made 2 errors all year. And this kid, when he came out of Lexington way back when, Lafayette High School, and then he was going to Florida, but the Reds signed him. He was just labeled as a can't miss, but injuries have hounded him throughout his career.
And he beat out Aaron Rowan for that outfield spot with the Marlins this year in spring training.
Big strong bat when he stays healthy and makes contact. Played for Maniacta the last 2 years. Only 141 games over the 2 years combined, with 10 homers and 49 RBIs. Locked him up, but it was called a ball. That's the book on Kearns. You have to jam him and lock up his swing.
Looked very similar to the pitch that he struck out Bonifacio with. Let's see what pitch track says. Just off the plate in.
Sale a minute event at Nissan. Save on your new Nissan. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer. They bring us pitch track. And a 2-1 coming here. Change up, just floated up and away. Kearns will be 32 years of age May 20th. And a catcher with power, John Buck, behind him. Challenge fastball, and that's in the corner. Stanton heading for third. Nady has to pick it out of the deep corner there. He'll be held. Will Stanton by third base coach Joe Espada. And the Marlins have second and third, 1 out.
Wasn't so much that pitch, but the 2-1 change before it that got him into a 3-1 count. The 2-1 change for Kearns was up and away, an easy take for him. And now, all of a sudden, you find yourself in a 3-1 count leverage, and he was all over that heater. And just for the record, these uniforms aren't that bad. There's some that I've seen, some combos that are very bright, but these gray uniforms they're sporting tonight are kind of sharp. I would say this is the most simple form of uni they have, but I like these.
John Buck is next.
Of course, you're talking to a guy that went to the U, and our colors were green and orange, so maybe in that regard, I'm a little desensitized to the bright colored uni, but those aren't bad.
John Buck only hit .227 last year, but he hit 16 home runs. Drove in 57. Marlins with a chance to jump on top here. 0 for 1 career against Detweiler. The target was for a fastball inside, and then he couldn't reach the fastball away, and Flores had to shift to his right.
Pretty big swing right there with the infield back. Buck going for the bonus plan, trying to pick up both runs. Now he's going to have to shorten up with 2 and play a little bit of pepper for an RBI.
Strikeout or pop-up needed here. Goes with a breaking ball, trying to get the strikeout. Ball 1.
You know, off that breaking ball, you could do a lot of things. You could throw another one, or you go with that fastball down and in. If the guy lucky enough to put it in play, you want him to hit it at the corner. It's hard to drive in a guy hitting a ground ball to third base in this situation. So wouldn't be surprised if they try to pound Buck in right here with 2 strikes.
And a breaking ball gets a fly ball. That is shallow. Here comes Ankiel. Stanton at third. He's not going anywhere. And the Nationals Park crowds, they love nothing better than a fly ball to center field with a man on third base.
Then what about the broadcasters? Every time I see a shallow fly ball to center field with a runner on third less than 2, I'm on my feet.
You want him to go, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Ian Desmond could have thrown it any better from shortstop, and here's Rick Ankiel about 300 feet away. It just doesn't get old. I'm sorry. I could sit here and watch him throw all day long. And it's getting to the point to where it doesn't even have to be good because no one's even trying.
Yeah, word gets around in a hurry. Guess we could maybe tip our cap to our friends at the MLB Network who played that one about 30 times the other day, and everybody in baseball saw it. Stop sign. So here's the number 8 hitter, Donnie Murphy. Murphy 2 for 10 with a homer, 3 RBIs. This is not your usual number 8 pitcher offensive situation because the guy who's on deck can really hack. Carlos Zambrano, 23 career home runs. That is 9th, tied with Walter Johnson on the all-time list. I bet some of you Washington fans didn't know that the big train left the yard 23 times in his career. So Detweiler has an 0-2 now. And a groundswell of applause starting here. That's a strikeout on a fastball upstairs. Detweiler, thanks to Ankiel, gets out of that jam in the top of the second. Worth coming up after LaRoche.
Bottom of the second here at Nats Park. Let's check out a uniform preview for the Marlins. These are the home unis right here. These are the away unis. These right here. These are probably their Sunday tops. It's Carlos Zambrano stuff. I mean, look at all the pitches right there. 6 pitches, and I'm wondering with 6 pitches, how you call for that 6th pitch. I mean, there's not enough hands.
3 plus 3.
Yeah, 3 plus 3 is 6. Find out why the government is turning to STG at stginc.com. And thanks for that colorful pie chart.
Zambrano's won double-figure games only once since 08. That was 11-6 with the Cubs 2 years ago. 9-7 last year. Some meltdowns, some off-the-field problems. And now he has a new home. He's probably happy about it, and so are the Cubs. Here's LaRoche hitting .309 with an on-base percentage of .406. Adam has 9 career hits against Carlos Zambrano with 5 RBIs, 9 for 30. Adam's still in the top 6 in the league in base hits and in the top 3 in RBIs with 13. Speaking of the Cubs, they lost their 6th in a row today, and they're 3-11. And Jeff Samardzija almost blew himself out yesterday, pitching less than 4 innings, FP, and he's struggling now since that marathon against the Nats.
Yeah, that's too bad. And we said that day that we thought he was getting a little bit overextended, but just 3 2/3, 8 hits, 5 runs yesterday for Samardzija, who
80 pitches.
We thought was amazing the day we saw him in Wrigley Field. And we also questioned that early in the season for a guy that's never pitched past 6 innings, how he would fare after, and the 2 starts afterwards haven't been so good for Samardzija.
2-2 to Adam. And LaRoche will foul off another. There are the numbers with those 5 RBIs, 9 strikeouts. There's a lot of guys who would take a .270 batting average against this guy.
Yeah, 3 doubles in that mix, too.
9 for 30, that's actually 300. So here's a 2-2 again, and that's low and inside. Jason Worth off to a good start. Coming off the series against Houston when he had 3 hits, a couple of walks. Off speed for the strikeout, and there's that varied repertoire you talked about. Strikeout number 2. Kinetic North America pitch track.
Yeah, any pitch at any count, and Adam LaRoche gets a 3-2 curveball right there from Zambrano.
Kinetic North America provides world-class technology and responsive solutions to their government customers.
Whoa. That is a huge lead.
Wow. All right, there's people sitting behind you, buddy. Let them see the game. To some people, Jason Worth is larger than life.
That's a whole section of Jason Worth. I mean, that beard is big on the left.
Wow, that's a forest.
Yeah, there's stuff in there, I think.
Serious jammage. Right side. Zambrano gets to the bag in time, and he's waiting for the underhand toss of Donnie Murphy. 4-1. That's 5 in a row for Zambrano to start the game. All right, folks, it's our park. The series, May 4th to the 6th against the Phillies. Ignite your natitude at nationals.com/tickets. Some restrictions apply. You know what this is all about. We want Nationals red in the park. First weekend of May. Here's Xavier NADY. .91 on the sinker. NADY 6 for 33, batting .182. He has 8 hits and 25 at-bats against Zambrano with 7 RBIs.
Yeah, computer sheet got him in the lineup today for sure.
Up the middle it goes. Not hit that hard. Reyes to his left. Low throw and a good pick by Gaby Sanchez. Zambrano 6 in a row to start the game. No score. Marlins with a couple of hits. Miami and Washington scoreless. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. Going to fill up that baseball.
If that had a handle on it, it would be perfection.
Well, a lot of guys have been trying to get a handle on the baseball for a lot of years. Top of the third, Detweiler, 15 pitches, 10 strikes in each of the first 2 innings. And he'll face Carlos Zambrano, who, if he hits one more career home run, will equal the 24 of John Clarkson and Bob Gibson. Then ahead of him on the list, if he ever gets there, would be Don Drysdale with 29, but I'm not sure he'll ever reach the 38. 38 home runs that Wes Farrell hit. Bob Lemon hit 37. Warren Spahn 35.
I mean, in 2008, he hit 337 with 4 home runs. 2011, he hit 318 with a couple of home runs.
Crazy.
In 2005, he hit 300. I'm talking with 83 at-bats, 80 at-bats. So I would say the Marlins have 2 of the best hitting pitchers in the National League in Zambrano and Josh Johnson.
Yeah. Funny, the year Zambrano hit his most home runs, 6. In 06, he batted .151, so he wasn't going for singles that year. 1 ball and 2 strikes, but he takes his hitting very seriously. This man is huge. I don't know if you get the breadth of this guy on television. They list him at 6'4", 276 pounds.
Well, he looks a little slimmer than that to me this year. That's the first thing I noticed when he took the mound. There's no way he's 270.
Yeah, I'd say 250, 255 maybe. Looks like he's dropped 20 lbs or more.
And he's a switch hitter too.
Yeah.
So other than that, he's not very good.
Not much to talk about at the plate. He's 1 for 4 this year. He has 160 career hits. That's a comebacker, and Detweiler can just run it right over to Adam LaRoche. 3 straight, and 4 of the last 5 now for Ross. Top of the order coming up again, Reyes and then Bonifacio.
Check him out running to first. How many times do you see a pitcher do this on a comebacker? He just put his head down, ran hard the whole way, through the bag, still running. Usually they pull up about 3 or 4 steps and almost walk into the bag, so I like that. A little hustle to first base by the pitcher.
I think Eduardo Perez liked it too. Had a word for him when he came back there. Eddie is the Marlins hitting coach. Outside to Jose Reyes. Detweiler fell behind him 2-0 first time, eventually grounded him out to short.
I know Eduardo didn't say, hey, you want another cup of coffee?
2-0 again. Carlos Zambrano makes coffee nervous. Off the plate with a fastball, 3-0. Emilio Bonifacio next. 6th in the league in runs and in hits. That new ballpark, they're really talking about it down in Miami. It is a doubles and triples haven. They have a guy in the DL right now, Omar Infante, who's in the top 4 in the league in extra base hits. And that's a walk with 1 out to Reyes. Jose Reyes walks for the 6th time this year. Solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. A lot of people talking about Tyler Moore right now, FP. He's going to start getting some reps at AAA in left field.
They have a buddy that plays AAA for the Phillies, and he was texting me the other day saying that Tyler Moore is a stud. So playing left field, you never know. It just kind of opens up the options for him to become a big leaguer, but he's been tearing it up.
Of course, he is usually a first baseman. But, I mean, you can sort of think that one through as to why they may have him working out in left field. Tyler Moore, it's only his 5th year in professional baseball, 16th rounder back in 08. And he hit 77 home runs his first 4 years, including 62 of those the last 2 years. Bonifacio's behind 0-1 on a breaking ball inside. So we shall keep an eye on the man from Brandon, Mississippi, Tyler Moore.
Yeah, we might be able to keep an eye on him every single day here soon.
1 ball and 1 strike. to Bonifacio, 0 for 2 career against Detweiler. Reyes with a short lead and a lefty just staring him down. And a long stare, and now a move back.
That was a good shot right there of Ross Detweiler. And what Jose Reyes is seeing as a base stealer, you know, you got to do your homework the first couple of times you're on first with a lefty pitching, especially if it's a guy you haven't faced before. You get out there real big, you make him throw to first, and you put what you see in your computer, and you try to get a read on him. All the while, your first base coach is telling you what he sees, and if it jibes with what you see, then you feel like you got him down. Now, that was a better move on the second throw over from Detweiler.
Gary Thurman, by the way, the coach over there.
What I used to do against lefties is I'd try to peek in and get a sign. And if it was anything but a throw-over sign, which I would know already before I got to first, I would just go first move. So you get out in your lead, and if the catcher's right leg is a little bit open, you take a little peek into the plate. If you see anything but a throw-over sign, and sometimes it's just a thumb to first base, sometimes it's a 5-1, whatever it is, or a pinky to first base, and you know the opposition's throw-over sign, lefties have a tough time reading you, which means they predetermine they're either going to first or going to home. And if you run their face, a lot of times they can't choke it off and throw back behind you.
2-1 running count, hit and run count. There he goes, swing and a miss. Throw, it's to the bag, and it short hops Desmond, and Reyes retreated. He must not have felt very good on his jump, even though it appeared to be a straight hit and run.
Yeah, we talk about times to the plate all the time, but for Ross Detweiler right there, a little slide step action, and that enabled Flores to throw out Reyes by a ton. He was very quick to the plate. Reyes, realizing that the ball wasn't put in play, choked it off, went back to first.
And Ian Desmond did the right thing by knocking that ball down. If that ball goes into center field, then Reyes, of course, advances. So now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The Detweiler very quick to the plate right there. That made the play. See that? Just a little slide step.
Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. So Bonifacio down on strikes twice, and that's number 3 for Detweiler.
So even as a base stealer like Jose Reyes, if you guess and go right here, which means as soon as Detweiler picks up his foot, you go. You saw the delivery right there, so quick to the plate that it doesn't matter if you go first move, you'll still get thrown out. I mean, that's about a 1-0 or a 1-1 to the plate. Almost impossible to steal second base.
Well, does Reyes run with 2 outs and possibly take the bat out of Hanley Ramirez's hands? He bounced out to Desmond first time up.
And we talked about it before. So you had a 1-1 to Jesus Flores' time to second, which is probably a 1-9. And that's a 3-0. And a quick base stealer from the time he leaves his lead till the time he touches second base is a 3-3. So it just doesn't add up. Even if Reyes gets a great jump and he's a 3-2, say, to second base, he's not going to steal off Detweiler with this slide step delivery right there. No shot.
Getting strikes with it as well. So he's not giving up any command while doing the slide step.
Nope.
And that's something, FP, you're always concerned about. Pitcher changes his motion at all, or the speed of it. Possibility he starts falling behind guys.
Or doesn't have as much stuff on his pitches to power guys and leaves something up and out over the plate.
Reyes was moving back to the bag on that pitch. So he's having a hard time reading Ross Detweiler, and now it's 0-2 to Ramirez. Ultimate objective, of course, here, get the hitter, end the inning, and let Jose walk over to shortstop.
He's telling LaRoche, I thought he was coming over. It scared me. I mean, he was almost back to the base when the pitch was going to home.
Well, we've watched him for years with the Mets. He plays the game with a lot of personality, Jose Reyes. Close.
Not getting the inner half of the plate with the fastball yet. He's getting some breaks on the outer half. But so far in this game, Jerry Davis not giving the inner third. And that's okay. As long as he sticks with it and he's consistent, the hitter knows, the pitcher knows, and you make adjustments accordingly. And Jerry Davis, a very consistent umpire, always behind the plate. Good ball and strike guy.
One ball and 2 strikes. This lineup will force you into some pitch counts. Fourth batter up this inning, and Detweiler now approaching 50 with John Carlos Stanton on deck, who saw one pitch in his first at bat, leading off the second, and rifled it down the left field side. So this becomes a very big 2-2 sequence here. Target inner half. That's a called third strike. It appeared it got plenty of the plate, and I wonder if Ramirez thought it was low. The Marlins gone in the third on a perfect heater at the knees. A lot of Nats fans having a great time at the park tonight. We're going bottom three. ANKIEL, Flores, and Detweiler facing Carlos Zambrano, who's trying to have a winning record for the 10th consecutive season. CC Sabathia 11, Roy Halladay 7, Jared Weaver 5 on that list. Doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but it's hard to do. Just ask guys like Jordan Zimmerman and others, because from year to year your run support waivers, you don't feel great all the time. To have a winning record consecutively for that long really tells you something about that guy.
Yeah, the stuff has always been there. There's never been a question about that. The passion has always been there. Yeah, at times it's been displaced, but for Carlos Zambrano, he's a competitor. He loves to go out there and compete every fifth day, whether he's hitting, whether he's pitching, and he's always got a smile on his face.
Rick Ankiel, 1 for 8 career against him. Lifting one to deep center field. Bonifacio can only watch it, and the Nats are on top. Ankiel's first of the year, first RBI, and career home run number 54. It's where the big guys hit him out there.
I mean, there's a small ambulance way behind the center field fence parked out there, and that ball was hit over that. I would like to see the distance on that one. That was at least 430 feet. An absolute bomb by Rick Ankiel to go with the absolute laser beam he threw to home plate already tonight. So having a good night here already in the third inning.
Well, that gets his batting average up to 250. There's Jesus Flores, who's a lot higher than that at 6 for 14.
That ball's absolutely crushed. And watch where this ball lands.
M Street.
Over the ambulance.
Over the ambulance. Wow. That's something when the ambulance is calling 911. Jesus, couple of RBIs, 6 hits, 3 walks on the year.
Look out. Jason Worth at his pickup truck in spring training. Rick Ankiel just hit an ambulance.
Now Flores behind 1 and 2. Zambrano, second home run he's given up this year. And the Nats have homered in 2 consecutive games. They have 8 as a team. Big sweeping breaking ball, strikeout number 3. And Detweiler will bat with 1 out here in the 3rd. Ross Detweiler 0 for 2 with the sacrifice this year. 3 hits and 47 career at bats. This has been an interesting season as the Nats meet the Marlins for the first time, and it's already April 20th. Washington's only played 3 games inside the division against the Mets. The National League East this year against the rest of the league, a .585 winning percentage, 38 and 27. That's a busted bat. Slow roller Reyes. Ross hustling. 2 down. In contrast, the Central has a winning percentage of .429, and the West is an even .500. So it's easy to see as the divisions match up kind of against each other here early and not all within the division, how strong the East appears to be.
And I think we all knew that coming in, that the East would be one of the best divisions, not just in the National League, but in baseball. We had what the Marlins did in the offseason, what the Nationals did in the offseason, what those 2 teams did last year, and the Braves and the Phillies already established, and the Mets having a good start to this season.
The worst record in this division is 1 game under .500. The Phillies at 6 and 7.
A lot of talk about the new kids on the block, but I still think the East goes through Philadelphia.
I agree with that. On a pitch up, Desmond fouls it off to the right. We'll see the true Phillies when they get Howard back. Not sure what's going to go on with Chase Utley. But with those 3 starters, Lee, Halladay, and Hamels.
And we've seen a little bit of that right here in Washington early in the season. What
pitching can do.
Yeah, you're in every single game.
0-2 to Desmond. That was a sinker. Probably a straight change at 85 that Ian slammed off the foot of the catcher, John Buck. I think Ian was leaning out thinking he was going to get that slider way outside. How about John Buck in that helmet?
I mean, that gets him right on the toe. Probably the only spot that's not covered. Might have got that little piece guarding his toe, but how about that? Everything colorful in these uniforms.
Desmond gets jammed and flies it to right for John Carlos Stanton. The Nats take the lead on their first hit of the night. Rick Ankiel, watch this bomb. Straight away, his first of the year. 1-0, middle innings coming up.
There goes a no-hitter.
Hitting pitcher himself goes deep as a center fielder, and that's on top. Don't forget about Sunday, 1:35, Nats Marlins, game 3 of this series. First 10,000 fans, 12 and under, receive a Ryan Zimmerman kids jersey presented by Matson. Nationals.com/tickets. You can look just like number 11.
I want to look like number 11.
I want to hit like number 11.
I want to field like number 11.
Gentleman Zim, we've called him over the years. A true gentleman, face of the franchise for many years. And here we go, top of the fourth with Giancarlo Stanton. And don't relax too much here. Nats are still looking for a way to pitch this guy here. That's up and in. It's ridiculous what he's done in this ballpark. Updated with his base hit tonight. An RBI per game, a homer every other game, and a Rogers Hornsby type batting average. Up and away, 2-0.
Well, there's certain parts you just feel good in. You can't explain it. You see the ball well in. But I still think, going back to our original point tonight, a lot of home runs here against a staff that really wasn't as good, quite frankly, as the one that they're going to face this year.
Zimmerman is going to take a hit away from him. Yes, he is. LaRoche stays on the bag, and the brilliant defense early season continues from Ryan Zimmerman.
You say early season, we already have a highlight reel that a lot of third basemen could put together over 162 games in 15 games for that guy at third base. So if you're thinking about a gold glove third baseman and your vote in September, take note in April of Ryan Zimmerman's play.
I've got him as the early favorite.
Absolutely.
Change up away to Gaby Sanchez.
So Giancarlo Stanton has 48 at-bats this year without a home run. And I wasn't going to say it while I was hitting. And I was just wondering if you ever think about changing your name back to Mike. I mean, his name is Giancarlo.
That's a busted bat.
But you know how baseball players are superstitious, right?
Yep. Well, let's hope he thinks about changing his name Monday. That'll be a good sign for this weekend.
Yeah, well, we're on the West Coast.
Next up will be Austin Kearns, and he doubled down the left field line first time up. So Kearns as a Marlin, 2 for 7.
But talking to the Marlins people, excuse me, partner, that ballpark's playing huge.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he scored up a few baseballs, and I remember seeing a couple on the highlights that he hit to deep to center field, had nothing to show for it. So in his defense, he's hit a few balls hard that would have got out of a lot of ballparks. That ballpark in Miami reportedly is playing huge so far this year. You can open the roof, or you can leave the roof closed and open the windows. And apparently when you open just the windows, the wind blows in off the ocean straight into the hitter's face, and the ball goes nowhere.
Big breaking ball, and Detweiler is on a roll now. 5 strikeouts for Ross. Enjoying a 1-0 lead. Here comes Danny Espinosa. Zimmerman, LaRoche to follow, bottom 4. Visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Christina has our sideline report. Good evening.
Hi there, Bob. Well, after Danny Espinosa's bat came alive last night, I talked to him today about where he sees he's at right now as a hitter. And although his batting average may not be where he wants it to be, he did say he's very happy with his consistent approach.
The approach that I have right now, I feel like I'm at my best, and I feel like I can cover the plate well, and I'm seeing the ball deep, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm having long at bats, having good at bats, and I'm drawing a lot of walks, so I feel good where I'm at, and I'm just going to try to stay there.
Danny said he's learned the hard way in periods in his short career. He's gotten away from his approach, and it's really hurt him. I know, FP, you've discussed this a lot, and what he's been up to lately at bat.
Yeah, just sticking with the plan. That's good stuff right there, Christina. And you know, the worst thing you can do as a hitter is start to change. And I think if you went and talked to Jason Worth about last season, he changed his stance and his approach about 5 or 6 times in the month of April. And a lot of times, a hitter, when you do that, you forget where you started. And now you're searching all season long. And I think just to show the maturity level of Danny after 1 year to know that, hey, I'm hitting 229, but I'm smoking the ball up there. I'm going deep into counts. I'm seeing the baseball big, and I'm not going to panic, is a testament to how much he's matured in a year. But it's also when you have that security of not having to look at the lineup card when you walk in the clubhouse every day, affords you the opportunity to stay with it a little more than, say, a guy battling for playing time. If I'm fighting for time, you know, it's baseball Darwinism. I have to do whatever I can to stay in the lineup. But if you know you're going to be in the lineup every day, you can stick with something a little bit longer.
Well, Zambrano got ahead of him, then dumped one down in the dirt, low and away, strikeout number 4. Ryan Zimmerman, I got him as the early favorite for the Gold Glove at the hot corner this year.
I got him as a late favorite. I've seen this for a year and a half now, or longer than that, covering him as a visiting guy, and he's as good as anybody over there. Just like Rick Ankiel thrown in center field, that doesn't get old watching number 11 play third base.
Ryan won the Gold Glove and Silver Slugger in 2009. Matt Kemp, the only other National League guy to do both of those that year. And then injuries got in the way, both in 10 and last year.
Well, I was pushing for him last year late in the season. He played 100 games, and I thought that was enough with what we saw at third base. I know Polanco was hurt a lot during the season last year, and a lot of the other Gold Glove type third basemen missed some time, so I felt like last year he had a shot.
1-1 to Zimmerman. Oh, right down into the ankle area.
And the reason I said, oh, right there, partners, I've seen a lot of guys do damage on that. Let's check it out one more time, see where it gets him. If there's shoe involved, that's good. Oh. That's one of those that's going to get tighter and tighter as the game goes on. Let's just hope that caught a little piece of his shoe underneath his pants.
Taking a while to dig back in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Zambrano tried to go low and in on him again.
There's fouling the ball off your leg, and then there's absolutely squaring a baseball up and hitting it as hard as you can off your leg. You know, it makes that crisp sound off the bat, and you can hit it as hard as you would hit a double down the corner. Those are the ones that do damage, and I think Zim got all of that foul ball off his ankle.
That's out over the plate, and he scorches that ball to right field. Stanton runs it down. He has hit so many balls right on the sweet spot in the early part of this season, and has a batting average of about 230 to show for it.
Let's check it out on Expo right here. And that's just simple. Look at the balance right here. Everything's right there going around that line. You see that? I mean, that's just perfect balance. The head's not moving. Head down the baseball. I could watch that swing all day, too.
He might be the first guy to win a Gold Glove while being awarded the unluckiest hitter in the league award. That is some tough luck for Ryan Zimmerman so far. And here's LaRoche. Struck out swinging on a pitch down and in first time up.
You know, they say they all equal out. Well, they don't. But if you have a consistent approach and you're barreling up baseballs for 6 months and you're hitting the ball hard 2 or 3 times a game, they will equal out. You just can't hit a ball hard once a night and expect them to equal out. But if you're having good at-bats consistently, you'll look up and your numbers will be where you want them to be.
Adam ahead in the count here. 9 career hits against Zambrano. That was off speed 82, and it just had enough dip right at the end.
That's a split change Zambrano feature. It's a changeup with a split finger grip, and that one had tons of movement on it late.
Worth next, but there are 2 out. And LaRoche, 9 walks on the season. One of the leading batting eye guys in the league here in the early going.
Got 3-2 slider last time for strike 3. Let's see if Zambrano goes back to the well with the same pitch. Changeup.
82. Strikeout number 5. Quite a matchup. Zambrano and Detweiler. The Nats a slim lead. Fish and the Nats. Rick Ankiel, first of the year, straightaway center in the 3rd, and then an almost identical matchup between Zambrano and Detweiler so far.
And Detweiler's been good tonight with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts, and let's take a look at some of them. Started with Bonifacio, fastball in the inner half. You see the elevated fastball to Murphy. Bonifacio again with a nasty hook, and check out this fastball placement. Man, I like the 2 speeds of that fastball. Did you see how it exploded? So far, so good for Detweiler.
Wow. When you're going bad, that's what fastballs look like.
You know, I talk about late life all the time. That was a perfect example of how it started off at like 10 miles an hour and ended up at 95.
John Buck leads off, 5th inning. A chopper. Detweiler lets it go for Zimmerman, and the throw is wide. Tough play for Ryan. Long way to go for that one. But I think both the third baseman and the pitcher made the right decision there. It's a base hit all the way.
Yeah, with Detweiler's momentum going toward the third baseline, there's no way if he gets this baseball he can spin and throw. He defers to the Gold Glover at third. He may be in a little bit of a hurry, threw that one wide. And maybe there was some traffic involved that threw him off of here.
And anytime the ball hits on the plate, it's going to go so much higher in the air. So John Buck gets a base hit. Donnie Murphy's the number 8 hitter. Detweiler struck him out first time. They would usually have Omar Infante at second base. Slow roller. Can they turn 2? Espinosa with a rocket to first. Just a little late.
Let's look at that again and see if Ian Desmond got that ball cleanly out of his glove. I think there might have been a little delay right there. Check it out. Maybe not. Looked like he got rid of it quick, right on the money. Just wasn't hit hard enough. Broken bat.
Omar Infante has a left groin strain. He's out his 3rd consecutive game. He's one of the league leaders in extra base hits. Talking to the Florida broadcasters and my old buddy Tommy Hutton before the game, Omar Infante is the kind of guy you appreciate him when you get to see him every day. Always hits 270, 280, and they miss him. There's a kind of a swinging bunt. LaRoche to the shortstop and no chance for a return throw. Funny looking little swing by Carlos Zambrano. That'll go 3-6.
Yeah, speaking of Tommy Hutton, I don't like him anymore because I found out before the game today that he has 22 career home runs, one more than me. So I am not talking to him the rest of the series.
You know, that's what I told Tommy a couple of hours ago. You power hitters become great analysts. Well, here's Jose Reyes. Things happening quickly. On 3 pitches, we've had a base hit and 2 outs. Top of the order, Reyes 0 for 1 with a walk, and Ross has fallen behind him at least 2-0 every time up. So this pitch will determine whether that happens a 3rd time. Well, they make Carlos run the bases here a little bit anyway. Reyes gets a good piece of that one. Left center. Ankiel is there. Makes the catch 380 feet away. Halfway through the ball game. How about that quick inning? 1-0. Heads will turn when they hear contact like that Rick Ankiel made. Geico President's Race. Teddy out of the blocks first tonight, but not at all a factor. And Tom comes roaring in, number 3, the winner.
Well, Teddy was here at 2 o'clock running the stairs, so I was watching him. He didn't have a lot left for the race.
He's got to quit tiring himself out.
Yeah, he's training too hard. He's overtraining. I've been talking to him about that.
You know, it's only April 20th. Teddy does not need to be grinding right now.
And his diet, too. He's got to change his diet. He's eating a lot of fast food.
Well, if you had your own island like he does over in Arlington, you would too.
He needs a personal trainer.
Find out why the government is turning to STG at stginc.com. Against the fastball, Jason Worth lights out. So they need to get ahead of him and then work him down, and away.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of sliders off the plate away to Jason early this season, but I think comparatively speaking to last year and this year, he has been all over the fastball. He's swinging a lot earlier in the count. He's swinging when he's ahead in the count. All in all, much more aggressive at the plate this year, and you see the results. 321 average going into this at-bat.
Worth bounced out to the second baseman first time with Zambrano covering. Nats a run on a hit. Zambrano's retired. 12 of 13 batters. There's that frisbee. 2-0. Took that down to about 79 miles an hour.
And I think that fastball percentage is high for Zambrano compared to most of his outings. He likes the off speed.
He left that one center cut, but Worth hit it off the end of the bat. That ball got a lot of the plate, and Austin Kearns makes a routine catch in left. Bringing in Nady, then Ankiel. Lots of location here. I think Jason might like this one back.
I think he just got out in front a little bit. Look where it hit. Just toward the end, but you could hit a home run in that same spot. He just got underneath that a little bit. I think it was the change of speeds that got him more than the break.
Davey Johnson really feels Xavier Nady, at least with his swing and his work, is about where he needs to be now. It's probably just now the end of spring training for Xavier. Bounced out to short first time. He drives that ball to right, and the Nats continue to hit line drives at outfielders every night. 2 down. Next up, Ankiel. You'll hear a nice ovation. Tell you, when this guy hits them, they go a long, long way. He hit 25 homers for the 08 Cardinals, drove in 71, and also had 21 doubles and 2 triples that year. He had some shoulder problems after that. On to Kansas City in 2010, finished with Atlanta. Hit a big homer against the Giants in the division series. And then 239 with 9 homers, 37 RBIs, and 20 doubles in 122 games here last year.
And only 2 of his 54 career home runs came as a pitcher.
That ball driven up the middle. When Rick Ankiel hit his first home run as a pitcher and then later homered as a position player, nobody had done that since 1947. In fact, in the history of baseball, only 12 players have made that conversion and hit home runs as pitchers and position players. So he's got 2 of his best swings of the young season right here tonight.
Well, if I'm in the Nationals dugout, I'm walking up to Rick Ankiel and saying, dude, what are you seeing that I'm not? A home run, a line drive, both of the hits tonight for the Nats.
So he goes from 211 to 286 in 2 swings. And here's Jesus Flores batting 8th, and you'd love to see him get aboard and at least get Detweiler to the plate here in the 5th. Jesus struck out swinging first time. Zambrano got ahead of him and worked him over with breaking balls.
And you think it just happens in the game that these guys just show up and play, but around 3 o'clock today, looking to my left as I'm walking to the dugout, I see Rick Ankiel in the cage by himself, sweating bullets, working on his swing, and you see the results tonight. Direct correlation between hard work and results during the game.
Yep.
And all these guys work hard, but that's the guy I saw today in the cage.
Hits the side of the mound, scoots out to Reyes, over to Murphy, and the Nats are gone in the 5th. Ankiel has both hits tonight. 6th inning coming up in a 1-0 game. Nationals baseball on Masson, brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible, and by your local DC area Land Rover Center. Beautiful evening here in the district. On to the 6th, 1-0 Nationals. For Nationals alerts you can't miss, you can't afford to miss, including starting lineups long before you might come to the ballpark and in-game updates. Text Nationals to 29292. 2-3-4 for the Marlins here. Bonifacio, Ramirez, Stanton. 63 pitches, 40 strikes for the very efficient Ross Detweiler so far. He's given up no runs on 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. That was Reyes back in the 3rd. It did not come back to haunt.
You see the 39% off speed. It's pretty much been all curveballs for the off speed. He's only thrown a couple of changeup, had him a real good feel for that pitch, but the curveball's been good. So fastball, curveball primarily tonight for Ross Detweiler.
Curveball good enough to neutralize these aggressive, at times free swinging right-handed Marlins. He has rung up Bonifacio twice, and so we may see Emilio attacking early here.
Well, this is a big at-bat. You talked about it earlier. A guy with 9 stolen bases hasn't been caught yet in a 1-run baseball game in the 6th inning. He's got to go right at him.
He'll take a strike, and it's 1-1. Detweiler's 5th inning was 5 pitches, 4 strikes to 4 batters. That may serve him and his ball club very well later.
13 pitches the last 2 innings for Detweiler.
Steady diet of off speed for Bonifacio, so the Nats have done a good job of getting the scouting report ready for him. We know this guy can hit a fastball. So can Hanley Ramirez, who's next.
And that was a good changeup from Detweiler. Right when I said he's not throwing it very much tonight, he pulls out a dandy.
3rd time around the order here. Target in. Marlins box score. 2 hits, 3 actually, 2 of them in the 2nd. Stanton, leadoff single. Kearns, 1-out double. And then, of course, Buck flied out. Murphy struck out. The big sequence of the game for Detweiler. And a harmless John Buck infield hit in the 5th. Off speed again. Detweiler spears it. And he'll run over to first base again.
Big out right there in the 6th.
Good reaction play.
And you got the big boys coming up. You want to keep the rabbits off the base pass, especially a guy with 9 stolen bases. See Detweiler right there thinking, you know what, Emilio, I'm going to show you that I'm faster than you and beat you to the base.
Pitch count by inning. Anybody in Washington, D.C. who knows economics love the middle innings and how that looks right now.
In his first 2 starts this year, the first inning's been the bugaboo. You remember in New York, he had to battle to get through that. Some calls didn't go his way against Cincinnati, but after the first, he settled down nicely. And if you remember correctly, this is the lineup that in spring training Ross Detweiler faced to make this ball club and be the 5th starter. It was the one that impressed Davey Johnson.
Yeah.
It was the outing that impressed Mike Rizzo. That night game that we did against the Marlins when they brought their A-team to Vieira is how Ross Detweiler got the 5th spot in the rotation.
5 innings, a run on 3 hits, a walk, 5 strikeouts on March 30th. Nats won that game 3-2. That's all Davey needed to see, and we liked it as well. 0-2 now to Hanley Ramirez. Giancarlo Stanton is next, a base hit, and then one taken away by Zimmerman. Ramirez off speed again. Pitch track from Kinetic, North America.
And look at where all the pitches are in this sequence. Down and in to Ramirez. He broke his bat on a ground ball the first time up, struck out his second time up. So they've been pounding him in consistently tonight.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. Strikeout number 6.
And that's a hot Hanley Ramirez, too. He's homered in 3 consecutive games. He's swinging the bat well, and Ross Detweiler has had his number all night tonight. Like I said, a broken bat first time up and a couple of strikeouts after that. Now you have to be careful right here to this big guy.
That was a changeup up and away, and I'm glad it was away.
But he's got power to go out anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, he can go right down the right field line, hit the right field pole straight away. It doesn't matter with this guy. He can leave any ballpark in any direction.
'56 homers, 146 RBIs. His first 2 years in the big leagues. That'll neutralize a big free swinger.
2-0 curveball, down and in. He's sitting fastball, guessing fastball, and Detweiler pulls the string. Good pitch. So a 2-0 curveball. Let's see if he goes 3-1 curveball right here. Challenge fastball. He was on it.
92 straight back. And if he tries that again, you figure it might be under his hands, but Stanton stands pretty far off the plate. He's a hard guy to jam for a strike. So breaking ball, and he hits it foul. Three-two pitch, 2 outs. Bases empty, top 6. The Rick Ankiel leadoff third inning homer, the difference in this game. Nats try to make it 7-2 on this homestand. Marlins, by the way, on the road so far, 2-4 on the young season. Oh, look at that changeup. Freezes him. That's what they call looking for the express. He got the local and couldn't get on.
48 K Street.
A laugh with Steve McCaddy. Can't get off his feet too long. Got a bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Edwin Jackson struggled early last night, recovered for 4 good innings. The bullpen couldn't keep the game close. So here we are the next night, and a starter is right back on track the way these guys have been pitching.
And this is the recipe, right? 6 innings from your starter. You have the bullpen set up the way you want it for tonight. But for Ross Detweiler, 7 strikeouts. And I don't know how to say this, but he is establishing the 5th spot in the rotation. It's going to be hard to get this guy out of the rotation.
Hey, I'll tell you something, buddy. A lot of ball clubs would have him pitching a lot higher in their rotation. Is Detweiler done for the night? Roger Bernardina is going to bat for him here. I frankly am surprised. After 79 pitches, it's Bernardina for Detweiler.
And it looks like Stammen is warming up in the bullpen, and all of a sudden he's going to be the 7th inning guy. Clippard obviously the 8th inning guy if everything stays the way it is right now, and I'm wondering who the 9th inning guy is going to be tonight.
So Roger Bernardina pinch hits here, bottom 6. Well, now we know why Detweiler was so relaxed and smiling, because his pitching coach had just congratulated him on an outstanding outing.
.79 pitches for Detweiler, 52 for strikes. Last time out he threw 81 pitches, so maybe Davey Johnson is thinking, I liked what I saw tonight after a limited outing last time with just 81 pitches.
Bernardina strikes out. Well, and if you're the Florida Marlins and you're coming up in the 7th inning, you've got to be pretty pleased now with this move.
Well, you can be pleased with it, but you know, the Nationals bullpen is one that, careful what you wish for when you get into that bullpen, because sometimes you get into a bullpen that's that tough to where you wish the starter was back out there. I know last year on certain occasions with the Braves starting rotation, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, we got into the bullpen, but it's 97, 98, 99, guys with nasty sliders. So I think the Nationals bullpen qualifies to be, you know, you get rid of the starter and then you're in trouble.
Ian Desmond tried to jump all over what he thought was a hanging breaking ball right there. Desmond is 0 for 2 tonight, and suddenly he's 1 for his last 15. Didn't play last night. Lombardozzi got the nod at shortstop and had a couple of hits. Ian did not have a good series against Houston pitching.
And I talked to Davey Johnson about that today, and I said, hey, Skipper, just so you know, I'm calling them Prozac days when you give them mental days off. And he thought it was funny, but he said, I like to keep my starters fresh, but I also like to keep my bench guys going.
Zambrano got too much of the plate with that 0-2 pitch, but Desmond lines out to Stanton, 2 quick outs.
And I asked him quite frankly, I said, Davey, is that something you learned later in your career? Because when I played for you in Los Angeles, you didn't use us at all. I mean, I rotted on the end of the bench, and I told him, and he said, well, FP, I didn't have a chance to assemble that team. He goes, Kevin Malone put that team together before I was named the manager. He goes, I have this bench set up exactly the way I like it. So I like to keep my bench guys fresh, give them a start here or there, maybe give my everyday guys a day off with a day off coming, meaning if you get a day off during the game and a scheduled day off the next day, they get 2 days off. And meanwhile, it keeps everybody fresh. It keeps a guy like Ian mentally fresh to where, you know, 6-month grind. It's not all about getting worn down physically. When you're worried about getting hits and focusing on ground balls, you could wear out mentally. So keeping his starters fresh, but also keeping his bench guys in the game and keeping them fresh too.
Danny Espinosa 0 for 2. One spot in the lineup with hits tonight, and a bouncer. Sanchez to Zambrano. Nats go quickly, so now it's up to the bullpen in a 1-0 game, 7th inning. Nationals baseball on Masson, brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Beautiful night up in Georgetown, right on the water. Folks having a good time, but they should be here. Top 7, Sanchez, Kearns, and Buck. Rick Ankiel's homer, the difference in the game. And like we promised you earlier, Miller time brought to you by Miller Lite. And it was time for a long ball.
Listen to the sound of this. It is just absolutely crushed. That's just a beautiful sound. Over the ambulance, into the dumpster. And that's the only run of this ball game.
Yep.
It should have counted for 3 as far as he hit that one.
They reportedly found that ball in a drainage pipe up on M Street after it got done. So here we go, 7th inning, Stammen. Craig's been very good. And when he comes in a situation like this is not long relief or mop-up at all. This is crucial 7th inning stuff. 8 innings, 7 hits, a run, 10 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's been an unexpected strikeout machine this year.
Graduated from long man to 7th inning of a 1-run baseball game.
Yeah.
And I think Davey Johnson showing a lot of confidence in Stammen. And you know, and if you're scratching your head, Ross Detweiler's out of the game. In his 3 starts this year against the Mets, he threw 71 pitches. Against Cincinnati, 81 and 79 tonight. And the only thing I can come up with is Ross Detweiler only started 1 game in spring training. So not a lot of innings, not a lot of starts in spring training. And maybe he's building up to that 100-pitch count during the season, where the other 4 starters built up to that 100-pitch count in spring training.
He only threw 66 innings here last year, 87 at AAA. So he made 26 starts, went 10 and 11 in 153 innings last year. AAA big leagues. Stammen 2-1 on Gabby Sanchez. On a pitch up, that's pounded foul. Good stop by the ball person. And the count's 2-2. In the division tonight, Giants at the Mets, 3-2 San Fran lead, 5th inning. Atlanta at Arizona later, Phillies at San Diego later. Breaking ball, that was a great off-speed pitch. Nice lesson for all the kids watching. Bare hand makes that play a lot easier. Next up will be Austin Kearns. And I know he's a big country western guy. If he could be here, he would on June 2nd. Braves in town, Dierks Bentley after the game. Tickets starting at $10. Go to nationals.com/concerts. It's a free concert, but you have to have a ticket for the game. And it's the first of 3 post-game concerts this year.
I can't wait for the 2 after that.
Kearns locked up on a first pitch breaking ball. Do you have some information that we don't know about?
I do not.
Okay.
At least officially, I do not.
Like if we met in a parking garage somewhere here in Washington, could you tell me?
In a black Escalade with tinted out windows? Absolutely, I'd tell you.
Steve Cishek. Oh-2 pitch. Great hard breaking ball in the dirt, and Stammen with another strikeout.
The slider's been so good for him early in this season. It's just been a disappearing slider. It's pretty much unhittable. We haven't seen a whole lot of contact on this pitch yet from right-handers. Wow, split action, straight down, 87 miles an hour.
When you don't throw a strike and you get a guy on 3 pitches, that's pretty good. Nissan on the pitch track. And here's Stammen against John Buck. Craig's got that short arm delivery. You don't see the ball till late. And he's a big guy coming at you as well. Stammen, 6'4", 220 plus. Good action on that one, but low, 2-0. 92 on the sinker.
Now be careful right here. Buck will cheat on a fastball in, especially in a 1-run game ahead in a 2-0 count. He's got some pop.
That's a slider. A little buckle of the knees there.
Nice job by Stammen. He shook off the fastball in a 2-0 count to a guy with some power in favor of the slider away. It was a second sign that Flores put down, and he went with it.
Another slider. Zimmerman on the charge. Got it. Played it into a one-hopper. And Craig Stammen gets us to the 7th inning stretch with Zimmerman, LaRoche, and Espanda. Worth coming up. Baseball on Masson, brought to you by Dodge. Go to Dodge.com or visit your local Dodge dealer this weekend. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. 1500 South Capitol Street. Beautiful night in Washington, D.C. 3-4-5 for the Nats. Don't forget about tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock game. Anibal Sanchez, 7-0 career against the Nats, making the matchup with Steven Strasburg even more impressive. Strasburg 2-0 with a 1.42 ERA, 5 walks, 19 strikeouts so far. And Strasburg to the tune of 2-0 with a 1.42 so far this year. Johnny and Ray, Nats Extra at 12:30 tomorrow. We join you from the booth at 1 and a 1:05 first pitch.
You see the pitch count on Carlos Zambrano, 70 pitches, 58% fastball, 42% whatever the pie chart said the other 5 pitches were. And there's a lot of different off-speed, sliders, split, change, curveball, 3/4 curveball, over-the-top curveball.
Well, Zambrano probably his last inning, due to bat second in the 8th. Wow, look at that, 14 pitches, the most in any inning. Actually 16 once, and then not more than 14. One of the best games we've seen him throw. He's impressive, 8-3. 355 and 12 starts against the Montreal Washington franchise. One to Zimmerman, who killed the ball last time right at Stanton in right field. Ryan 0 for 2. In fact, the first time up took a good play by Jose Reyes to take a hit away from Ryan. LaRoche to follow. Worth. These 3 hitters 0 for 6 tonight.
I honestly think that most of the games within the division this year are going to be just like tonight. With the pitching that the Marlins have, with the pitching that the Braves have, with the pitching that the Phillies have. Obviously, we all know about the Nationals pitching. This is what it's going to be like when you play in your own division more games than not.
Zimmerman severely jammed, spins it down to Gaby Sanchez. And that was close.
Wow.
Because Gaby Sanchez Cadillac to the bag. I think he thought Zambrano was going to take a throw, and they both pulled up. Ryan almost beat him.
Yeah, I think he was out, but how about the hustle? We showed Carlos Zambrano early in the game hustling to first base. Gaby Sanchez strolling over the base, and here comes Ryan Zimmerman hustling, and it was bang, bang, got him. But you like the effort, and when you're the leader of the ball club, Everybody else in that Nationals dugout took note right there, the hustle by their third baseman.
There's LaRoche. He rockets one, caught by Sanchez. Gaby with a backhand stab. Came up as a catcher originally. And 2 quick outs here in the 7th. PNC Bank. Solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. PNC for the achiever in you. And the patient hitters in the big leagues, 2 of them are here tonight.
You can see the average 3.81 pitches. I think the other end of that spectrum would be Ian Desmond.
Yeah, he's the .81. In there to Worth. Zambrano working quickly. The only thing that's going to take him out of this game would be a pinch hitter, the way he's going. At times, what makes managing in the American League so much simpler than this league. Night like tonight, Zambrano might pitch a complete game in the American League.
Well, OZZIE is letting his starter stick around in this game, A, because he's been effective, but B, because he wants him to qualify for the win. In a 1-0 game.
Yeah. And if they get a man on, he might leave him in to bunt. You never know. Stanton under that one. The Nats are done through 7. Tyler Clippard is warmed up. Bottom 2 coming up for the Fish. It's the Phillies coming in May 4, 5, 6, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Ignite your Natitude at nationals.com/tickets. Some restrictions apply. We want Nats red throughout the park and some curly W's first weekend of May. Come and join us. Top of the 8th inning. Nationals on the Ankiel homer back in the 3rd, leading 1-0. Only 5 hits in the game. And this call to the bullpen is packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. And the call, of course, in the 8th inning, as a rule, goes to Tyler Clippard. It'll be his 7th appearance, trying to get that 6 ERA down. Fairly hittable, 7 hits, 4 runs in those 6 innings.
It's a pretty good rule in my book. Go to this guy in the 8th inning. Fastball, slider, change from Clippard. He'll cut the fastball every once in a while. And he's had trouble this season early on elevating that fastball like he does for the 3rd strike. That's his out pitch, I think, most of the time, that elevated fastball. He's had trouble getting it up in the hitter's eyes.
For the Marlins, Donnie Murphy, Logan Morrison on deck, and then Jose Reyes. Carlos Zambrano trying to clap for a rally here. Oh, hold on. This is Coughlin for Murphy. So all the lefties are coming out now. So Coughlin, Morrison, and Reyes. And sometimes you're doing Tyler Clippard a favor when you bring in a left-handed batter.
Carlos Zambrano has been fantastic tonight. He would have a perfect game if it wasn't for Rick Ankiel. perfect game minus one guy.
Yeah. That ball is driven to left center. ANKIEL on his way. He's got it. Bangs into the fence. Rick ANKIEL having a night here.
I mean, he's done everything all night long. Don't forget about the throw on the short fly ball and John Buck hit in the second inning, excuse me. The home run he's hit, he's got a base hit, he's covering all the ground out there. And look at the two hands. Kids at home, that's textbook. How many times do you see a major leaguer use two hands catching a fly ball in the outfield? Good stuff right there from Rick ANKIEL.
Next up will be Logan Morrison. 286 so far with 5 RBIs. This is a lively bat to bring it off the bench. He does a lot of starting in left field, but did not start against the left-hander Detweiler tonight. Not to be forgotten here, the job Craig Stammen did in the 7th. Now Clippard follows him in the 8th. Had him reaching. Here comes Desmond. Scoops and fires. He double clutched. Ian's been having a tough time lately getting the ball out of his glove. That'll be a base hit.
And Logan Morrison's coming off knee surgery in the offseason. They've been very careful with him, not playing him on travel days, not playing day games after night games. And it looked like his knee was fine there. And in a one-run baseball game, a little traveling there by Ian Desmond. Too many steps, and Morrison's safe.
Could be costly. Here comes Reyes and Bonifacio. And these guys are tough to double up. Nationals middle infielders really bunched up the middle here. That ball pulled. LaRoche, and he can't get a handle. He'll settle for one. It'd be tough to get Reyes on a 3-6-3, but that does get the tying run to second base. That's a 90 feet difference right there. At least you get the lead run, or the lead runner. So now it's Bonifacio with 2 outs.
Man, a little hot shot to LaRoche coming off the base. And it looks like he either didn't have a grip on it, or I've seen a lot of first basemen choke off that throw when they don't have a throwing lane. They don't have a clear shot at second base. They don't want to risk hitting the runner in the back and having first and second 1 out. Interesting to see if that was the case with LaRoche after the game.
Bonifacio 0 for 3 tonight against Ross Detweiler. So he turns around to bat left-handed, as Reyes did.
Let's take a look at it and see if he had a clear shot, or was it just simply he didn't have a grip. And I think he had a shot right there and just decided, I don't have a good grip on the baseball, take the sure out.
Yep. Some really good arms in the Washington outfield. You always have to be aware of that. Desmond tries to keep the runner close at second. Swing and a miss. Bonifacio took a big uppercut at that ball. But Logan Morrison's getting a really big leadoff at second base.
Well, if you're on second base in a one-run game in the 8th inning, and you know that there's guys like Rick ANKIEL in the outfield that can throw you out at home, as a base runner, it puts a lot of pressure on you to get a good primary lead and to shuffle off with the pitch and get a really big secondary lead. You have to work hard out there to score a run with the arms that the Nationals have in the outfield.
Fastball up. 93 for strike 2. Kinetic North America pitch track.
And there's that elevated fastball we're talking about from Clippard. He's been working on it. And quite frankly, I'd like to see one more right here, just a hair higher.
Sure.
Climb the ladder. If he's going to offer at that with 1 strike, go ahead and throw it up in his face with 2. Easier said than done. And I think he tried to, just didn't get it up there, but it had good location on the inner half of the plate. And especially with a little guy that doesn't have pop, you can go ahead and throw that fastball up there. If he doesn't offer at it, you might set up that changeup for the next pitch. He might go to the changeup right here, though.
He just got a piece of it, did Emilio.
Good piece of hitting by Bonifacio right there. That was a great changeup from Clippard. And when you see a pitch like that in a 2-strike count, if you can just get a piece of it and buy yourself another chance, look at that. That was the difference between strike 3 and a foul ball just off the very end of the bat. And that gives Bonifacio life.
One ball and 2 strikes here in the 8th. There's a changeup, 2-2.
Saw that one early. He picked up the release point, the rotation, and that was an easy take. Well, here we go again, partner. Last night, no gray hairs. Tonight, I got about 5 going already.
You'd love the inning to end here and make Ramirez lead off in the 8th.
Base open right here, not necessarily a fastball count, even though you have Hanley Ramirez on deck. Don't forget about Jesus Flores behind the plate. He's handled Ramirez well tonight with a steady diet of fastballs in and curveballs in from Ross Detweiler. You could do the same thing here with Clippard. So base open, you can play around a little bit right here if you're Tyler.
8th pitch of this at bat. Changeup down, and the battle continues. Nationals Park, Friday, April 20th. Quite a pitching duel tonight between Carlos Zambrano and Ross Detweiler. Craig Stammen has pitched a scoreless 7th. Clippard trying to add on here in the 8th. First of a 3-game series as the Nats are back in the division here. And a 3-2. Fastball away.
Pretty good battle going on right here. The only pitch that Bonifacio hasn't seen is the slider from Clippard.
Doesn't use it to lefties a lot. Takes him up the ladder, and Bonifacio makes contact again.
He's in swing mode. You don't necessarily have to throw a strike to a hitter in a 3-ball count when he's forcing the issue. I've been there before. You get in those 3-2 counts, you're fouling balls off, you can't hold up your swing. I still think that fastball up is the pitch.
On the corner, and now it'll be at least 12 pitches in this matchup.
Seen this a couple of times so far in this young season with Clippard. Little left-handed guys that put the ball in play, battling to 10, 11, 12 pitch at-bats. It's so hard to do as a pitcher and a catcher, but he's swinging, and you know he's swinging. And if you throw something that appears to be a strike that ends up a ball, you got him. I feel like the more pitches he sees in the strike zone, advantage hitter, So right now, take advantage of his aggressive nature. Got a lot of protection on deck with Hanley Ramirez, but they both know that he's swinging. Don't have to throw a strike.
And most hitters, when attacking, have a hole in their swing up and in with fastballs like this.
Some kind of battle going on right here. Pitch number 14 coming from Tyler Clippard in this at-bat. And the crowd is getting into it.
Nice crowd tonight, 24,640 watching serious pitching at Nationals Park tonight.
Fastball in his eyes gets him. It's good stuff.
Crowd trying to will Clippard to the out. Now Hanley Ramirez will bat. That's a changeup. 2 on, 2 out. Boy, Tyler Clippard just hasn't had any easy innings lately. 20 pitches, and about 70% of it in that at-bat right there.
It's a good meeting on the mound right now. He and Desmond coming in first, Jesus Flores, and here comes Danny Espinosa. A couple of things going on right here. Number one, you want to give your pitcher a blow right now. I mean, a little breath after that long battle. Number two, Logan Morrison has been standing on second base for a long time, so maybe you think about switching up the signs. And number three, Jesus Flores has a pretty good idea what to do with Hanley Ramirez after some success after 3 at-bats. So a little conference, a little business meeting on the mound to take care of this big at-bat right here in the 8th. A lot of things going on.
Hanley Ramirez 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Clippard changeup outside.
I think you go with your best bolt 2-seam fastball in the inner half and see what happens.
That looked like the breaking ball. Held on to that for a long time. And Jesus Flores keeps the runners at bay.
A good block right there by Flores, but all of a sudden you got a really hot hitter in a 2-0 count with the game on the line.
Ramirez gets the fastball way out ahead of it. Actually changeup at 82 now. Fastball look, and that ball went almost on a 90-degree angle straight to the left.
He's not afraid to throw the changeup to righties, and he's not afraid to throw it into righties. He recognized it as a fastball. It was out in front. I still think that 2-seam fastball in the inner half is a pitch. Go in there.
Well, maybe. That following the previous pitch will look about 95.
See how late Flores is setting up?
They go away. He goes with the straight fastball, throws it by him at 94.
Good call, Carp. Fastball after the changeup. It looked like it was faster than 94. Hitting count, Ramirez late. Good pitch.
Yeah, so you use the heater after you've set it up. Most of the time, it's the other way around.
And this is where, if he can do it, that elevator fastball, the punch-out pitch from last year, hasn't been here yet in 2012 is the pitch.
There it is! Fastball up! Ramirez gone for the 3rd time tonight on strikes. And that might be Tyler Clippard's biggest pitch of the young season. 1-0, bottom 8, straight ahead. Up Rick Ankiel, the only offense against Carlos Zambrano tonight, who retired everybody every time except for Rick. And then Ross Detweiler still in line for the W if the Nats can hold on here.
And everybody exhale together. But this is how it's going to be all season long in the NL East for me. And watch Tyler Clippard. He finally gets the fastball up. Look at the emotion after the big strikeout. And I'll tell you what, these games are going to be intense all season long. Jesus Flores with the fist pump, the fans in the background going crazy. And I thought after the 14-pitch battle with Bonifacio, there might not be a lot left in the tank. But apparently I was wrong, and there was, because that was some kind of pitching by the all-star, Tyler Clippard.
Well, only 17 more games against these guys this year. Emilio Bonifacio comes into play second base. Chris Coughlin, after pinch hitting, stays in the game, and he'll play center. And the Nats will face deceptive right-hander Steve Cishek. 45 games for the Marlins last year and a .263 ERA, 55 strikeouts in 54 2/3. And watch this motion from down under, and he gets a running strike. We've said this often, guys who throw the ball with this motion are incapable of throwing the ball absolutely straight. Everything is moving one way or the other.
And those averages we just showed, the batting average against, will make your point for you, Carp. Tough to pick up. Not a lot of hits given up.
First time he made an opening day roster this year. Xavier Nady 0 for 2. Hit the ball hard last time, lined out to right.
So he's a three-pitch guy. Fastball, slider, change. You saw the release point on the fastball. It'll run up there in the low 90s, the slider in the low 80s. And he only throws the changeup about 4% of the time.
That ball still fair, still fair. And finally foul about 70 feet down the line.
Pretty good play for a guy that hasn't played a whole lot of third base. I mean, he knows he doesn't have a shot on Nady. Doesn't know this field at all. You know, how does Hanley Ramirez know this ball is going to roll foul? His first game on it this year. And definitely his first game here at third base. Nice job of letting that roll foul.
He's only made one error over there. In the oddity department, Jose Reyes has made 5 errors at short already.
You know what's funny, just with the eye test, looking at him at third base, he looks like a third baseman.
Yeah, big, strong.
Yeah, he fits the part.
Well, he's embraced the move, and that's the big thing. That ball's up and in, and Nady strikes out.
Well, here comes the one-man wrecking crew, and what a night Rick Ankiel has had. Let's check it out one more time. The home run he hit in the third, an absolute bomb. And how about this catch? We talked about the throw, but for you kids at home, this is textbook. Not too many times do you see a major league outfielder use 2 hands. And I know if I was watching with my son at home, I'd say, look at that, son. That's how you do it. Use 2 hands.
Yeah, good enough for him, good enough for you.
Absolutely.
Ankiel's batting average up to .286 now. I mean, that looks like a fastball, then it comes in 84. He struck out Nady on 83.
I mean, if it stays the way it is right now, Rick Ankiel can tell his kids that he broke up a perfect game.
And he's 3 for 3. Thinking about 2. He's going.
Why not?
And he is safe. Got in under the tag. And here comes OZZIE Guillen. The ball beat him, but it looked like Reyes tagged him high. That's Phil Cuzzy on the call. You know, a lot of umpires, FP, they just call you out if the ball beats you. But sometimes a guy makes a nice slide and misses the tag.
And whatever Phil Cuzzy said, it turned OZZIE Guillen right around back to the dugout. And have a night, Rick Ankiel. Arguably his best night as a major leaguer continues. And I love the gamble. I love the aggressiveness. And when you're having a night like that, go ahead. Why not go for 2? Everything's going your way.
Yeah, he's safe.
Great shot right there, guys. He's in there. And I'll tell you what, if all these games within the division are going to be like tonight, I mean, this is playoff quality baseball we're seeing early in the season.
Did you see what Rick did? Reyes was going to tag his left arm, so he pulled it back, went with the right arm. It gave Reyes a longer reach, and he didn't get there in time.
The old swim move.
Well, he looked like Michael Phelps on that one.
Give him the left, take it away, get your right arm in there.
Flores now with a huge run, scoring position, 1 out in the 8th. Fastball misses.
I mean, if you don't like this game tonight, you don't like baseball. This is good stuff.
Henry Rodriguez. You kind of figured it would be Rodriguez tonight in a safe situation. It would be tough for Brad Lidge to throw the ball by any of these Marlins. We'll worry about that in a half inning from now. 1-2 now to Flores. For every Nats walk this season, and how about none tonight, but plenty to come in. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield, $50 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater DC. $2,950. Take that first step towards a more active and healthy lifestyle. By the way, Rick Ankiel now batting .318. Chad Tracy next for Tyler Clippard. Up the middle, Cishek. He looked the runner back and then turned his back on him. He had Ankiel dead. And now Rick's at third base, 2 outs.
Rick Ankiel could do no wrong tonight. He was hung up right there. Would have been a rundown if Cishek gave up the baseball to one of his infielders. But instead decides to go to first base, which is probably the right move. Runner on third, 2 outs. Runner on second, 2 outs. Or you see right here, Rick Ankiel's done. That's all he has to do is throw the baseball. And they're all pointing to third base. You see Murphy, you see Reyes. You see them all pointing over there. Actually, Bonifacio and Reyes.
Evidently, nobody wants to deal with Rick Ankiel tonight. They'll walk Tracy. It'll be righty-righty with Desmond.
And he's got 9 lives on the bases right now. If I was Rick Ankiel, I'd steal home. He's going to be safe.
So the Nats will have 2 on, 2 out. And Ian Desmond, 1 for his last 16, needing a base hit in the worst way. Take the Nats with you everywhere you go this spring and summer. MLB.tv, every out-of-market game live online, on your favorite device, HD quality. Visit Nationals.com to order, and for more details, check out MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Steven Strasburg and a man the Nats have never beaten, Anibal Sanchez. 7-0 with a 2.06 in 17 career starts against the Nats. 2 ball clubs that, well, when they get together, there's just no mystery. They know everything about each other.
And that starts in spring training in Florida when you play each other 1,000,000 times before you even get to the regular season.
Strasburg in that game tomorrow will bring a 1.42 ERA to the ballpark. So here's Desmond, 0 for 3, a strikeout, fly ball to right, and a line out to right last time. That ball well hit. Reyes has it, and safe at second. The throw was dropped. Nationals lead 2-0.
Chad Tracy, who doesn't run well, did a great job of getting a big secondary lead and busting it to second base to beat this force. So little things off the bench win close ball games. Ian Desmond with a hard hit ball in the hole. Reyes makes a nice play to get to it, but watch Chad Tracy. Folks, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but it's heads-up base running. It's wanting to get there for your team. All that combined puts the Nats up 2-0. Nice job, Chad Tracy.
And a big hit, if ruled that, and you would think it would be. That is for Desmond. And the Nats have a 2-run cushion. Danny Espinosa would like to add to that. He goes up and attacks. Strike one. Ian Desmond's 5th RBI of the year.
I mean, I can't tell you how big that extra run is. It takes away all the bunt plays, and if you get the leadoff man on in the 9th,
yep,
that second run takes away a lot of the offense for the Marlins in the top of the 9th.
Two on, two out. I'll tell you, everything looks like it's 88, 89 coming straight, and all of a sudden, there it goes. So Tracy at second, Desmond at first. 2 hits, a walk in the inning.
And Desmond with a number of big hits late early in this season. That's another one right there that he could put in the scrapbook. Big knocks late.
Then he goes fastball up and away. Espinosa 0 for 4 tonight. Nats pick up a huge run. Rodriguez on the way. 2-0 into the 9th.
Two to nothing Nationals. Henry Rodriguez on for the save. Ross Detweiler was good, but the bullpen has been outstanding. Craig Stammen taking off a big inning tonight, the 7th inning. He's been a long guy so far this year, so Davey Johnson showing some confidence in him. And how about Tyler Clippard winning that big matchup against Hanley Ramirez, and that was worth the price of admission. The Washington area Toyota dealers want to help children receiving medical treatment at NIH and their families. So they're making a donation to the Children's Inn at NIH of $37 for every strikeout by a Nationals pitcher this season.
Well, 8 more tonight. Actually 9 with the fireballer Rodriguez coming in here, 9th inning. 4, 5, and 6 he'll face Stanton, Sanchez, and Kearns. The good news is Hanley Ramirez is out of the way for this 9th inning. And Henry has retired 15 of his last 17 batters. Good thing about it, 10 of those outs on contact, 5 strikeouts. So he's working around the plate. Guys are putting the ball in play, and he's getting outs fairly quickly. Come down to Woodbridge this weekend. The Potomac Nationals have started another homestand. Fireworks tomorrow. Superheroes Day on Sunday. Call Potomac 703-590-2311 or PotomacNationals.com.
Yeah, you could dress like Rick Ankiel on Sunday if you want. I talked to Henry Rodriguez yesterday. And he was saying a lot more relaxed this year. The game has slowed down for him. He has tons of confidence. I think that extra run that the Nats just scored in the bottom of the 8th allows him to go right after some big hitters with pop. You might have to avoid a guy like Stanton in a 1-run game, but in a 2-run game, go right after him.
Nothing like strike one when this guy's pitching.
Nothing like 99 right out of bed.
Yeah, went screaming to the outside corner of that pitch. Mike Stanton tonight 1 for 3. Base hit in the second, robbed of a hit by Zimmerman in the 4th. And then a Detweiler changeup struck him out looking. Ross's last hitter tonight. There's the slider way outside.
Giancarlo Stanton's a good hitter, but I think with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball in a 2-run game, you go right after him. If he hits it 100 miles, tip your cap and get the next guy. I don't think there's any need to fool around with that curveball slider thing he throws until you get to 2 strikes.
Fastball up. Stanton pops it up. Short center. Superman is under it. 1 out. Tonight's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals.
I mean, you could go Superman, Spider-Man, Aquaman, if he's in the river swimming tonight. I mean, any superhero applies for the night that that guy's having.
Gabby Sanchez 0 for 3.
How about Batman with the homer?
That is cheese at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I mean, of all the pitching I've seen so far this year from the Nationals, I think the one pitcher that when he's on the mound kind of makes me giggle is Henry. When you're throwing 100 on the black, I mean, there's not a whole lot to analyze other than just sit up here and go, are you kidding me?
Fastball up and Sanchez reacts. 1 ball and 2 strikes. When this one's over, WB Mason presents Nets Extra Postgame. Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight here at the ballpark.
Well, this is the count for the curveball, especially after that hack from Gabby Sanchez. He was on that 98 up in his eyes, believe it or not. And I think if you throw that hammer down and away right here, you got him.
There it is. That's a great take by Gabby Sanchez.
Just a little off the plate. It didn't tease the strike zone long enough. If that pitch has got a hair more plate, Sanchez has to commit, but it was a ball all the way, never a strike.
And a 2-2. Throws another one. Gabby Sanchez. I know you can't guess slider. It almost looked like he expected both of those. And with Greg Dobbs on deck to hit for Austin Kearns, now a big pitch.
Well, as a hitter, Carp, if the ball's never in the strike zone, meaning that curveball was away the whole time, you don't have to commit to it because it's a ball out of his hand. But if that pitch starts over the plate, he's got him.
Might be time for the heater on 3-2. Oh, and he missed with it. Not even close. Gabby Sanchez was behind in the count. And now Greg Dobbs, one of the best pinch hitters in the National League over the last 3 or 4 years, will come in. Dobbs as a pinch batter this year, 1 for 5. But he's been right up there with Ross Glode as one of the best. Greg Dobbs has 62 career pinch hits. And with Matt Stairs retired, he's the #1 active pinch hitter.
And Jesus Flores going to go out there and calm his right-handed closer down. We talked to all the national starters, talked to relievers too. When Jesus Flores goes out to the mound, he's got something to say. He's not afraid to tell you about your mechanics. Not afraid to tell you, hey, don't shake me off. I know what I'm doing back here. He's a take charge guy behind the plate.
Russ Detweiler still the pitcher of record here. Did nothing to hurt his 0.90 ERA tonight. And Henry Rodriguez is throwing everything in the dirt right now.
Well, that was a changeup at 92. So Jesus Flores trying to get his pitcher back in sync. Sometimes you call an off-speed pitch to get him to slow down and relax a little bit. The changeup right there was nowhere near.
Inning got off to a routine start with a Stanton easy fly to center. Sanchez a walk. Good at bat by Gabby Sanchez. But now 2-0 on Greg Dobbs. There you go. Well, he made 99 look pretty effortless right there.
And that's where you have to go when you have the tie and run at the plate that's got a little power. Make them beat you the other way to the big part of the ballpark.
That ball headed down and in. Dobbs was hacking. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch hitters, as a rule, like Dobbs, late inning guys, do not like long counts. They see fastballs, they want to be swinging.
Well, Henry hasn't thrown the off speed for a strike tonight. Maybe we go with another fastball right here, but as a hitter, you have to commit to the fastball.
Target away. Totally overthrowing that one. All the way back to the screen. Sanchez going to walk to second base. Now no double play on the ground possibility.
And that was a changeup right there, and it got Flores. About a 55-foot change from Rodriguez. Caught him right in the arm. So the off-speed nowhere near for Henry tonight. And it looks like he's just going to have to rely on some good old-fashioned country hardball right here and go with that 99, 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Manager, bench coach, pitching coach. More nervous than they thought they would be after they got Stanton. Right-handed hitting John Buck on deck. The Marlins are out of left-handed batters. Dobbs goes upstairs, and fortunately for the Nats, it's right at NADY. FP's point well taken. With the fastball, make him beat you the other way. 2 outs.
And pretty good at bat by Dobbs, getting on top of a fastball. He smoked it to left field, but for Henry Rodriguez, mission accomplished. Make him swing the bat, throw that fastball. And now Steve McCatty is going to go out to the mound and have a little conference with his closer too. And this might be one of those, hey, you're not throwing your off speed for strikes. Let's just go with the fastball. You throw 99, that's good enough. Some nights you're not going to have the feel for your off speed. Some nights you're not going to have a feel for your changeup or your slider. Let's just fastball this guy and see what happens. This might be your fastball's 99. It's good. You don't need anything else. I'm good if you throw all fastballs right here. Don't even mess around with the off speed. Let's go get him.
Yeah. Nearly 25,000 at the ballpark tonight, making lots of noise. Very entertaining game against OZZIE Guillen's Marlins, who came in winning 4 in a row. Buck 1 for 3 with an infield hit. First pitch slider.
Well, scratch whatever I said, because he didn't tell him to go with the fastball. That's what I would have said. Go out there and go with your heater.
Well, and the thing we haven't seen tonight is the get-ahead slider, the one that comes right in. He's thrown get-em-out sliders, but off the plate. All right, turn up the octane. There's a foul ball off to the right. Nobody's caught up with it yet.
I mean, if you've ever stood in a batter's box and seen a fastball in the upper 90s to 100, you don't have a whole lot of time to react. You almost, and I talk about it all the time, have to guess strike and swing.
Two 2-0 Washington. 2 outs, top 9. Ball 3.
And this becomes a huge pitch with Coughlin on deck. Don't forget, he put a charge into that baseball in center field last time up. Sent Rick Ankiel to the fence in left center. Guy on deck has pop. Guy in the box has pop.
Coughlin, the last remaining left-handed batter. We're not sure if Omar Infante can swing a bat if it goes beyond the number 8 man.
Gio's saying, step into my office. I know all about these close games after I come out.
That's a strike on the corner.
1-0-1.
And Buck was ready to throw the bat toward the dugout. How about that?
Buck said that sounded like a ball because I didn't see it.
Well, the Marlins have 2 men on deck on the field right now, but all that matters is pitcher, batter, catcher right here. Whenever you sit next to Gio Gonzalez, you're not too worried about much of anything. So close. Ball 4. Now the tying run's on base. And a left-handed batter coming in, Chris Coughlin.
That looked like the same place as strike 2 to me. Let's check it out.
Well, just about what? Not even half of a ball further. Chris Coughlin, former Rookie of the Year, who's battled knee problems over the last year or so. He's the one who sent Ankiel to the wall at the bullpen last time up. That was the first batter Tyler Clippard faced in the 8th. Fastball right down the middle, 100.
Took a little off for strike 1.
Fastball low.
And Davey Johnson has the bullpen up right now. Brad Lidge getting loose.
Marlins bullpen working as well. Ramos and 3 starters. Ground ball, shortstop. Desmond has it. So do the Nats. First time they've ever shut out the Marlins in this ballpark. And Ross Detweiler gets a well-deserved win.
It's a new year, new outcome. We talked about it last night. Tonight would be a power check. First time you're playing one of the opponents in your division that upgraded in the offseason. We were looking forward to tonight, so check that box for the Nats. Job well done here tonight against the Marlins. And once again, the pitching is the story. Shocker.
Detweiler beats a hard-luck Zambrano.